Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a news site and several other videos talking about Jimin and Seulgi from Red Velvet. I have a lot to say about these two and what is going on online. I also want to get into BTS changing labels and what is happening with that, because there's a lot to say about that as well. So grab your dumpling tea spilling mug merch and let's jump into the tea. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be first, leave your hate comment. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell also, and you'll be first to do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing that I wanted to get into was the backstory behind what is going on with Jimin and Seulgi from Red Velvet. So there have been theories and rumors for the longest time of these two dating and these two liking each other. They actually have a few moments where they've spoken about each other in the past, and of course this is followed up by moments where we see Jimin making eye contact with Seulgi at award shows and things like that. Those are less likely theories and theories that exist with literally everyone BTS passes by at award shows. So I wanted to talk about the theories that are more them interacting. I want to clarify, I have nothing against ships and I think they're fun. I do think this one got really big and I wanted to talk about it. The first thing I wanted to talk about today was an interview that was done a little while ago. This was back when BTS used to do Korean interviews and variety shows, and maybe one of the reasons they have stopped. Korean media definitely understands what they should and should not talk about when it comes to idols, like what is going to get the idols into scandals, and so they steer clear of those topics. But of course, every now and then they push it because it's funny and it's more of a joking thing. This was a show on Mnet and BTS was asked which girl group they would like to get close to. This is basically a question of which celebrity do you have a crush on, just phrased in a more, let's say, friendly way. Koreans consider idols dating to be indecent, like the same as murder apparently, so they can't outright ask. But there is no other meaning behind the question, which is your favorite girl group and one that you want to get close with. They mean who do you have a crush on and would like to get to know better. Jimin then said Red Velvet, to which the MC replied and said, great, now mentioning names, which of the members do you prefer? And this is when Jimin went silent. This clip is used a lot to show that there is interest within BTS to the Red Velvet girls. Now, Big Hit doesn't prohibit dating within the boys. If they want to date and have the time, they are allowed to do so. Let's be real. We're living in 2021 and a dating rumor isn't exactly going to stop BTS from making sales. Even a lot of their sales for their English songs are American, and those sales, I believe, have to be American for them to rank on the Billboard 100. I am not 100% sure, but I think so. I'll have to get back to you on that. But if that is true, BTS would have no worries to actually date. But the fact that they have not publicly come out and said anything shows that right now they prefer to be single. But also, if they're going into the military soon, it would definitely not be a good time to date. Jimin answering Red Velvet can simply be that he was looking to collab with more artists back then, and it wasn't just Jimin that answered that. The answer seemed to be a bit more rehearsed, and they knew who they were going to say. Likely because Red Velvet was and still is big, so they probably wanted to work with them or hope that by saying them on the show, they could get Red Velvet's attention. Keep in mind, at this time, they were much smaller and Red Velvet may or may not have known who BTS were. Other theories are a bit more abstract, such as Jimin and Seulgi posting similar photos or filters, one being a bear or fox selfie, and just how similar they are. And by similar, I assume they are talking about the style, like the cute style of the selfie, and how they both like to use these types of filters. But these types of filters are literally used by so many different people that want to be cute, and neither of them invented these types of filters or style of taking it. These wouldn't be exclusive to just them, and it's not just weird for them to jump on the trend and use it too. One of the biggest similarities that was seen was a ring they both wore. They didn't wear the ring on their fingers, but they wore it as a necklace, and this is a very common way of wearing wedding rings. If you simply don't like to wear it on your fingers, and probably the way I would prefer to wear a ring, if I'm going to be honest. I like this idea of having my hands free so I can do stuff around the house. So I can see where this idea came from, that both rings are allegedly engagement rings and that they prefer to wear it as a necklace. However, it was also said that the rings and accessories were not solely just worn by Jimin and Seulgi, but also by the other members of Red Velvet. This is very interesting because it actually proves my original theory is that they probably share stylists, and the stylists are reusing the same accessories because why not? If it's something that is currently trendy right now and it's something that either gender can wear, then why not have them both wear it? It's a stylist's job to get styles that are trendy and that fit within the aesthetic of whatever the comeback is. Now, there aren't any original ideas that exist in the world anymore. Every original idea is just a mixture of a bunch of other ideas put together, and so are specific styles that would match those ideas. So there is definitely going to overlap in outfits and styles between groups. People like stylists, editors, and makeup makeup artists or even producers often do not work for just one company or for one team. It's simply too risky for them to do that. A lot of the times there just isn't enough work for them. How long does it take to produce one album, edit a music video or anything like that? Let's say a few months. Okay, great. Then they get paid for a few months. But then when the artist goes and promotes the album and does their tour, what does the producer and editor do then? A stylist can work a little bit longer, i.e. they can style the artist for tours and for TV appearances. But what happens when they take a break or they're working on their next album for months? The stylist is out of work for a few months. So in this case, they just move on to another group and find work there. This industry often shares the same successful people between everyone, and if someone is good at their job, then they will work a lot, and those who are new often find it hard to get one job, but once you get a successful one, you'll find it easier to book another. And that's why breaking into the industry is so difficult. BTS isn't doing too much right now, but there seems to be a lot coming out with them. They are no doubt constantly in the news lately, and I was surprised at first when I heard that BTS was changing labels. I was like, wait, they're leaving HYBE? Turns out HYBE is more of a management company and less of a label, at least in America. They have no connections or little connections in the American entertainment industry. And one of the first things they tried to do in America was get BTS signed to an American label so they can get American radio play and stuff like that. All the labels do is submit to radio and TV and all that, and they will always try to submit. But if TV or radio doesn't pick it up or doesn't want it, then they won't play the song on the radio, or they won't ask BTS to appear on their TV show. A lot of this comes down to how popular BTS is, because if they're popular, then shows would want them. But a big part of this is how powerful the label is, and if they have an even bigger connection. So if they're powerful, they'll be able to submit to these TV shows and radio, and the shows would more likely play it because they might have a deal with the label, like a money deal or something like that. But if the label also has more connections, there's a bigger chance that if you submit to 3,000 TV stations, one of them will want BTS on their show. Now, this is just my theory from what I know about how the industry works. This is not saying the two labels BTS was and is a part of, how they operate. It could be completely different. BTS was signed with Sony Music and left Sony to be with Universal Music. They signed Blackpink and several other big acts too. HYBE felt like BTS signing to Universal was going to help expand BTS more and better with the marketing and distribution of BTS work. So basically saying this new deal is going to be more beneficial for BTS. We might actually see them do bigger things in America. Universal has definitely watched BTS dominate America and probably has a big plan on how to help BTS get bigger. I don't think there is anyone who doesn't know BTS, but perhaps Universal can help BTS get a Grammy or things like that. I still think in a lot of ways BTS is very underrated, where the whole internet will be talking about something, but news won't even cover it. And news covers whatever story is sent to the news station by the label. So statements that are being submitted. I was very upset when I spoke about Suga going to the hospital, you know, back then with his shoulder, and there was a lot of Korean news covering it, meaning either they covered it on their own or HYBE's publicists submitted these stories for the news to cover. HYBE is Korean, so they only submit to Korean stations, and that's all they know, and gave the news the scoop so that we can stay up to date. It's very important to do that so we know what is going on. But very few American news sites covered this, and I'm not saying the American labels didn't submit. I don't know what happened. I just didn't see much coverage in American news. So when I spoke about Suga in the hospital, I was met with people saying, "You're lying, he's not in the hospital." And comments like, if he was in the hospital, you don't think it would be big news? But I can't even be mad at these people, because if you're just reading the American news, you're missing out on a lot of BTS news. They simply do not cover BTS. They'll cover Billie Eilish dyeing her hair or whatever, right? But I rarely see American articles like Jimin's hair is pink now. So I do think BTS has been underrated in that sense, where a lot of the same stuff that other high-level celebrities do, but BTS is not greeted with the same publicity or respect that other celebrities get. I'm hoping this new endeavor helps them, but also what about the military? BTS just signed a deal with Universal, and likely for a few years, but they may have to break the deal to go to the military. What is happening? Why would they sign a deal if they're going to the military soon? I have a lot of questions, and I have never been more confused about what is going on. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check that out. I have a lot of videos over there that I can't really post on here. This is due to copyright or getting taken down, so I do keep it over there on my Patreon. Again, videos over there like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can also recommend things you like to see over there. Currently, we do have over 400 videos that are already up on there. The moment you sign up, you'll have access to. We also have a great time interacting and having fun with each other over there. So if you're interested in any of that, link is in the top description down below. I also do have a video over there that kind of goes over how you can support this channel even more if you would like to do that. That video is on the front page and you can check it out. With that said, there's two videos that will appear up on screen at the end of this video, so click on one of those. I'll see you over there. Bye.